All right, friends, welcome in this another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmor, and this is Gaunts are cool. Gaunts are pretty cool, but this is Yoru, one of the best Infernal players out there right now. And his opponent in the red, also playing Infernal, this is Wallace, also one of the best Infernal players out there right now, having just won the most recent Oriel Stormgate circuit. And I believe that might be the first tournament win for Wallace in the Stormgate era, early access era. So congratulations, Wallace, for that. Um, uh, Good to see you on the top of the podium, and hope to see you there again soon. And likewise, Yoru, who has also won a few tournaments in the past. Shout out to both of you, and hopefully we'll see you maybe having a match like this in a tournament finals sometime soon. What's that conclave going down here for Yoru? That's the first production building for Yoru, and Gaunts are cool. So this is a Gaunts match. Whereas it was no, the production maybe was first here because the shrine is kind of slow in building. This shrine's already up, so I'm guessing that was production into shrine. I wasn't fully watching. And look at this shroud. Third shrine for Wallace. Third shrine. So even though he may have went early production there, he hasn't produced anything out of it yet and is going for a fast third shrine. I did see this in the tournament on the weekend here as a very interesting build that he's been using. I really think this build cycles around building some charges here. He hasn't built anything out yet, so he's allowing the charges to build up. I wish we could see the charges, which means he maybe when he gets some income coming out of these three bases, he'll just pump out a bunch of units. Also gives him the opportunity to be reactive in case Yoru comes across the map, but Yoru's done the same thing. I don't see any Gaunts out yet, and maybe both of them are using basically the Infernal macro skill or whatever you might want to call it, the charge trait that allows them to bank up. Now we do see our first Gaunts out here. Looks like we had a pause there. The pause doesn't show up in the replay, so we didn't see that. And we're starting to see units produced out from Wallace as well. So there must be some point where your income starts being high enough that you can still produce the imps that you want while also pumping out units. Ooh, this is actually looking really good.
Rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Also, look at the energy on this shrine. It's at 70. It's almost ready for a Hellspawn Resurgence. But Wallace is going for the Stormgate, and Yoru has not.
Stormgate has appeared.
Yoru's just sitting at home, making a Shroudstone, actually. Stormgate gets taken by Wallace. What kind of prize does he get? He gets the Freyan. Maybe he's thinking of doing some damage here. Did not use the energy from the shrine to do a Hellspawn Resurgence, as I thought he might. Has not yet. And would look for a third base in that location, although that is no longer, I think, the most common place for the third base. It was in other parts of the meta. And we're moving up the front line. It's a bunch of Gaunts versus Gaunts, Brutes, and a Freyan. And there is a Shroudstone here. Shroudstones do the same kind of DPS, but in more punchy attacks, not sort of fast shots now, kind of slower shots. And this doesn't look like the best attack for Wallace. This is a really well... There's two Shroudstones, two Pyres, and just a ton of Gaunts. Wallace pulls back, taking minor losses there. But again, with the economy that Wallace has created, I think this is still an advantage for Wallace. So much more production. First Weaver out. And we hear the cock-a-doodle-doo of the rooster telling us it is morning time in the Broken Crown. Which gives us a little bit of time because the Stormgates do not launch until night. So that means we do have another minute and a half before another Stormgate. But we are up to 4th base for Wallace. And Yoru is just now putting down the 3rd. So again, economy in favor of Wallace, despite that early attack being ill-advised and losing a little bit. How are we doing for upgrades here? No upgrades on Brutes or Gaunts yet. What about the Gaunt upgrades here? Same thing, no upgrades. There used to be a period... Oh, upgrades are just about to finish. Reaper's Rush just finishing for the Gaunts. There was a time where you would rush your upgrades for Infernal. That was almost the first thing you would do. But lately, you just build a ton of units is where it's been at. And get those upgrades when you have the economy and the time to do that. Coming for a back door here. This could be dangerous. There is a single Hellborn. The Hellborn is going to knock down trees. And I was going to say Yoru should be able to hear this. Except Yoru plays with no sound. I'm not kidding. Yoru plays with no sound.
A Stormgate will activate soon.
So Yoru did notice this giant flame imps. What? What? Oh my god, so much huge flame imps. I love that so much. Flame imps taking out most of this army. The shrine goes down. But that...
A Stormgate has appeared.
That did not look like a good trade. Oh no, especially as the Reaper's Rush are chasing down all these units. Reaper's Rush for Yoru's Gaunts, but no Reaper's Rush for Wallace means, oh no, Gaunt's getting mowed down. And poor Wallace is forced to fight here at his ramp, if you'll call it this, at the choke. But look at the concave from Yoru. Gaunt's just all around and just slowly pulling back here and there to reset the aggro. All the Brutes go down. That means there's no front line. And Gaunts versus Gaunts is not good when you have less Gaunts, which is where Wallace is. And Wallace did not put down any Shroud Stones here. There has been some talk that Shroud Stones are actually not good right now. Magmadon pops out. 3 Magmadon. Oh, 4 Magmadons. Really good, but they are not upgraded. And the Gaunts just try to pull back. And they're like, fine, let me get on top of your imps. Let me get Phantoms. Harbinger out to pick up the Magmadons. Finally, the Gaunts get cleaned. But Yoru doesn't really care. This effigy can get taken out because Yoru sent all his new Gaunts to the Stormgate. Now, Wallace has the supply lead after all those Gaunts going down. But Yoru thinks Gaunts are cool. So Yoru is going to make more Gaunts. And prove to us they are cool. So here come... Oh, Weavers as well. Weavers as well. That's wise to help deal with the Mags. And Stormgate, what you going to get? Oh, nothing. Because didn't have enough damage to put it down. I thought that might have been an activation. But it was a closing down. And Yoru still trying to pump out those extra Gaunts. Wallace has a bit of a bank here. Maybe needs some production. Maybe needs to spawn off some hell spawns. There, he spent some production. There's a hell spawn, it looks like. Yeah, more hell spawn. Brute. We got some imps out here. What are they doing? They're carrying Therium. Just so you know, carrying Therium does not make them explode for more damage when they flame on. You might think it does, but it doesn't. It would be cool if it did. It would be cool if they could spend the Therium in their hands to flame on, since it costs a little Therium. But Brute's here, finding the 4th base, and this is good harass. Oh, Flame Imp. Boom, getting some good impact here. And the actual battle happening out on the map. Magmadon's being dropped down on top of the Gaunts. Gaunts have to retreat in. Weaver moving forward very bravely. The Weaver is the whole front line for these Gaunts, because these Gaunts are basically a kite army. They do not want to go toe-to-toe.
Detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
More Flame on Imps coming out, doing a good job to get on top of some of those brutes. Magmadon's still being really tough and putting down damage. Harbinger goes down. But fighting inside the SimCity and inside the Static D there was not what Wallace wanted to do, so Wallace pulls back. Trying to regroup with his reinforcements, but as soon as he pulls back, he gets chased down by these fast Gaunts. That's why Yoru likes to play this style. The Gaunts are squishy. They die really easy, but if you have good control on them, you can kite very well and do quite well with them. This Stormgate looks like it's going to go to Wallace. And we're on tier 3 now. That means something good might come out of this. What's you gonna get, Wallace? There's no deep one, I guess. I lied. There is a deep one. Deep one's a bit OP. But I've seen it go down and not necessarily win the game before. What do we got here? Flame on Imps. Dangerous. All go down. Okay. They were Scout Imps, I guess. Wallace now with the serious supply lead. Does that deep one take supply? I don't know. Yoru trying to catch back up with supply. But staying on the Gaunt tech with the Weavers. And for the moment, camping out in base. Yoru now is on as many bases as Wallace is. Some units going over here. There are Tribute Pyres and Shroudstones about to go up. Flame on Imps. One still flaming there. I think he still self-destructs after a while. A little drop going on over here. But that might get taken down. Harbinger's going to go to safety and then teleport home probably. Yeah. So it's sort of a little minor harass period. Trying to send some units here and there and maybe harass and scout. But look at this defensive matrix over here for Yoru. Between the Gremlins and the Shroudstones. Maybe the Shroudstones need a new name now that they got a new look. They're supposed to be some kind of chained god, so why don't we call them something like that? That would be a cool name. Battle Flyer's out. And I assume that's to try and deal with a potential dragon, and there we are, a dragon as well. Gaunts, of course, being really good against dragons.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Yoru just staying defensive while Wallace has got his big old deep one. And a dragon.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Okay, well here comes Yoru around this side. He's got a bunch of leading Gaunts. Or, sorry, leading Imps. The Imps are just in the front line. Are they going to flame on? Yes, they do. Boom, boom, boom. A couple of huge... But they're all exploding on brutes, which is just creating a sea of fiends there. And a front line of fiends on top of Gaunts. The thing is, fiends don't create phantoms. So despite the Imps doing some initial damage there, the Gaunts are having a hard time dealing with this. They can take out fiends pretty quickly, but at what cost? So many fiends. Fiends trying to get surrounds on the Gaunts. Gaunts in retreat, but again, having put down some serious damage on this army. More Imps pulled out. I love the style here. The Stormgate does get captured by Wallace, though. Is it going to be another deep one? That would be scary. No, he's got clones. Or avatars? What is it? Power Stone. Don't tell me you could double powers, quadruple power. Deep one, triple Power Stone, deep one? What? Never seen that before. This is ridiculous. The Gaunts are trying to fight, but I don't think they're going to win this. Not with that superpowered deep one here. Crazy. Okay, deep one. Don't overextend. Don't overextend. What a tanky bad boy when you're triple Power Stone. Wow. Devastating. Oh, he got lashed in. Still alive, though. And pulling back. Why are you pulling back? Because you're at a third of your life? Double avatared. I love it. Now, does the deep one heal on Shroud? He's not healing right now. Go sit in the wellspring. Does not heal on Shroud. Need to go sit in the wellspring there, Wallace. Although when you have 2,000 hit points, I don't know how long it takes you to heal back up. Ridiculous. I love this. Great game. Thank you, Yoru, for sending this out. More imps in the back. And I love how Yoru is committed. He's playing his Gaunts are cool account. And that means Gaunts are cool. And that's it. I'm making Gaunts. I'm not switching into anything else. Oh, I lie. He's switching into mass imp.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Gaunts moving out. Gaunts going for this base. Going for the imps, trying to make a sea of phantoms. And trying to not be in a position where they're going to get caught out by the army here.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Very awkward back and forth here with the Shroud Stones on the low ground. That one Shroud Stone very close to going down. Oh no, a few Gaunts get caught off. This is not good. Pull them back, Yoru. You've got a huge sea of new Gaunts here. Yeah, go for those Fiends while they're out. Dragon now for Yoru. Ton of imps coming. Gotta be very wary of those imps. Giant Megalodons. Huge stuns. Oh my goodness. On top of everything here. Getting on top of the Gaunts. Imps are not flamed on. Here they are, flaming on. Impacting everything. Taking out the Fiends, taking out the Megalodons. Going for the deep one. And in fact, the deep one's very low. The Gaunts are going to win this. Dragon goes down, but so does the deep one. Wow, Gaunts are cool. But so are flaming imps. That switched the supply lead now in favor of Yoru. It looks like Yoru's going to try and get this Stormgate. I don't know if he's going to have the DPS, although there's a ton of Gaunts showing up here. You got to move your Gaunts forward. There you go. Everyone see that. That's the standard RTS move. When you got range units like that, just step them forward so the ones in the back can attack. What are we going to see out of this? Another deep one. Wow, this is a fun game. Double deep one. Avatar deep one. And a lot of back and forth between these two. Like I said, the best, two of the best Infernal players in the world right now. Duking it out in this massive game of Stormgate. And imps flaming on. Boom, 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 boom. So many detonations there. And this playstyle from Yoru is proving to be successful. Going to the high ground to attack the Shroud Stones. Ooh, the deep one just does serious damage. Boom, you're just one-shotting it. I love it. Deep One's my new favorite. Double Avatar Deep One is the coolest. Too bad that one went down. Magmadon's trying to come in here and do their business. Do they even have Raging Tendons yet? Yes, they do. But still, very ineffectual. And a good game. Well played, buddy, from Wallace.